Okay, so I have put in my sand retaining wall. I got overzealous and put in this piece too soon. None of this is dried yet. It's still currently drying. It's just tacky right now. But I wanted to wait to put this piece in so I could get up in here with a razor blade and clean out the excess, make it look all nice and pretty. And with this piece in there, that renders that impossible because you just cannot get your fingers through that little bitty gap with a razor blade to properly clean it. So it will have to do with basically how it currently is. Everything else, once it dries, I will finish and trim off all this excess smear, smudge. I don't like using painter's tape or anything like that. I'll just take a razor blade, in this case a rusty one, and shave off the excess caulking. I like that better than the painter's tape, just because I got way more control over what I'm doing and what the trimming I want to make. So the retaining wall is finished. Again, this is the retaining wall for the fluidized sand bed. As the sand's bubbling around in here and the water starts to come up, it's got to go up this slope, change directions, and go up here, and then change directions yet again, and flow out. So all that's to help the sand just continue to fall and get out of the pull of the water pressure. So that'll dry, and tomorrow I will trim up the excess silicone as much as I can. Obviously I can't get into there. So yeah, that kind of sucks. I had a issue with tacking these two in place. Like, I'm not very good at getting the vice grips and the boards out and whatnot, and doing stuff like I've seen all the time on YouTube videos. For the angles and whatnot I haven't really ever found a good way of doing that. So I usually just take silicone and hold it there until it gets tacky enough. You know, it's usually like 20 minutes of me just sitting there holding it. You know, I'll watch a video on my phone or something. Once it's tacky enough, I'll let it go and then work on the next piece. In this case, I got busted out the vice grips in an attempt to do it that way, and yeah, it failed. And when I came back down, it had silicone smeared all over the inside of the tank as these two pieces had freaking slid down and whatnot. And so yeah, that failed. So I ended up just using super glue and putting a couple tacks of super glue to super glue the acrylic to the glass just to hold it in place while I laid the silicone layer over top of it. That worked out extremely well, and I will forever probably do that because it takes about 2 minutes of holding, if I count to 120, and it's a nice secure. You can see if I zoom in here, let me see if I can. Okay, yeah, you see this discoloration here versus the rest of it here and here. This discoloration is the super glue tack that I use to hold it in place. So it's real simple, and like I said, it's 120 seconds, and it's got a nice hold to it. But after doing that screw up, and that sent me back a little bit with these two pieces. Me being upset got the better of me, and so I just started like knocking things out. Like, yeah, I got this piece in, then I got that piece in, then I got that piece in, then I went ahead and put that piece in. Whereas I didn't want to put this piece in yet. I just got ahead of myself as I was trying to like make up time for screwing up these two pieces, and went a little too fast. So I need to slow back down. But I'll let that cure overnight and continue on in the morning with my tank. So this is basically the sand trap For the fluidized sand bed filter, completely finished.